All right. Independence Rated Tuesday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Pretty good, pretty good. Enjoying the fall-like weather, which feels really nice after the summer we've had.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's supposed to stay around most of the country for a while. I'm not sure if I love that part of it, but
That's
fall is
okay.
coming.
Listen, as long as it's warm enough to enjoy the pool this weekend, we'll be in good shape.
Well, that's a good point. It would be nice. The sunshine itself is nice, and the lighting's just changing. I mean, fall's coming. It's
Yeah, you really notice it in the morning and the evening too when it gets dark earlier now, but yeah.
when it's dark. It's pretty dark at 5:30 in the morning too. So I don't love it, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Wait it out, and the planet will continue to turn. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started on the dark side of the moon. Okay, if as if you even went there.
Mm.
I'm just trying to fall in line with all the shit that we're listening to day after day after day.
Some days you just have to tune out. It's too much. It's just like being trapped being trapped in the visiting lounge of the fucking memory care place, and you're just stuck listening to fucking this guy rant on and on and on about shit that nobody cares about, and he doesn't even know what he's talking about. It's too much.
The upside of that story is that that guy's not the president of the United States. Okay,
Well, yeah, that
this
is true,
guy
sadly.
sadly is, and we're going to talk a little bit about the cabinet meeting later, just because it was so horrific. I felt a little bit nauseous. I think at one point I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Why don't they just call it what it is? It's just a stroke fest.
Really bad. I only have a couple examples, but it has nothing to do with us as a country. It has nothing to do with taking care of the people of this country. It's really just about, like you said, a stroke fest for that leader of this country, which, oh my God, it's just painful. It's been
He needs
painful.
constant reassurance, constant stroking. Just, oh my God.
Yeah. Fake bully, tiny man.
Yeah. Come on, COPD, work faster.
Yeah, he's a real beaut. So yesterday, of course, after the markets closed, he went after Lisa Cook, who's part of the Federal Reserve governor, and said,
And a black woman.
yeah, of course, right? And said he fired her and put out a letter. I think the dollar fell pretty quickly at that point because nobody likes when this guy's mingling in other people's business,
Hmm.
especially where it doesn't pertain to him. But here's Lisa Cook here. She is not leaving her post, and she's suing the Trump administration because he generally has no authority and he
Yeah.
lacks facts or a legal basis for getting rid of her. He talked about mortgage fraud. Um, she made a primary residence one place and then a couple of months later made a primary residence someplace else. I mean, you really want to go down that road and then maybe tie it to voting, because we have several Republican senators,
Mark Meadows, yeah.
Meadows, that live someplace else. We have the same thing basically with our senator here, Hawley. I mean, he's got a great place in Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
The little time he spends here, I don't even know where he voted. But seriously, you're going to go after this woman?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. He's way out of control. That guy, he's so far off the reservation. It's just, it's horrifying. It really is.
And it seems like the end game is he just wants to control the economy. I mean, these tariff things that he started, which are just nonsense. His sycophants make it okay, but this is him taking an attack on the central bank's independence, and
Mhm.
that really messes with the market. So you can watch the stock market, and they can manipulate that any way they want, but it's not getting you cheaper prices at the grocery store or at the gas tank or your health care. None of that stuff really pertains to average people per se.
Yeah. Well, and for the longest time, the whole thing about the Republicans was, the power of the markets. It's all about the markets. So now you've got a Republican president. Well, actually, I don't know what the fuck he is, just a wannabe dictator president that, literally wants to nationalize banking. What,
Lockheed Martin might be next, so the defense departments might come under some nationalization. He's already taken 10% of Intel. This is not normal.
It's not normal. This is unprecedented, and it's just it's horrifying, is what it is. And none of these idiots will do anything. These are the same people that, anytime the Democrats did anything, they're ready to call it, oh, overreach.
Oh my gosh! If Biden had put troops on the streets, give me a break. We would be going ape shit. These militias, and it's telling because these same militias, which were basically formed so the government wouldn't send in troops and take away your guns and shit,
Mm-hmm.
are mute. What are they doing about this? You standing up to these fake ICE people that are coming in, or any of the fake tough guys that are coming in to
I'm
pick
sure
up?
they're helping out. I'm sure they're putting on their masks and all their technical gear and getting right out there with them.
Yeah, well, great. That's what we need, more of those people.
Mm-hmm.
So just back to Lisa Cook. She's not a politician. She was the first Black woman to sit on the central bank's board. Her term wasn't supposed to end until 2038. I mean, these are positions you're pretty much entrenched in. She worked at Harvard. She worked at Yale. She served on the Council of Economic Advisors under Obama. She's Black. I guess these are all strikes against her because she's smarter than Dum Dum.
Mm-hmm.
And his mortgage fraud. He was asked one question in that meeting today about weaponizing by going after this woman, and he said about mortgage fraud. And his thing was that all these mortgages are public record, which they're not. That's a lie. And then he attacked the reporter saying, you're terrible. Like you should have done this research. You should know that, but you don't do that type of thing because, basically you suck. It's just offensive. She's asking you a question. You are weaponizing it. You had people that swore in front of Congress in their hearings that they would not weaponize it. Kash Patel, you're doing it. Bondi, you're doing it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
it is crazy, and it's discouraging to me that the White House press corps doesn't push back together. They don't defend each other. They just sit there and eat the shit sandwich and smile about it.
Yeah.
What happened to the fucking real journalists?
Well, they're few and far between, and those they don't get into these kind of meetings with the dictator Pete. He did mention being a dictator again. If that means I'm tough on crime, then maybe I should be a dictator. I mean, like, why are you using words like this?
He's a one-man crime wave. Everything that guy does is basically criminal.
Yeah, he's pretty awful. He's just getting us into deeper and deeper trouble, which I find to be the biggest issue with how terrible he is. I guess I will say a couple things about his cabinet meeting today. It was so cringeworthy. Of course, applaud. Trump hates wind power. So, of course, he talked about even Europe. They're making big mistakes with wind. Let's go back to fossil fuels, etc. And then RFK Jr. has to jump in and talk about the whales. This wind power is killing whales. 160 whales have been killed in 2 years. Just on the flip side, Trump will say the blades fall off and, how big they are and how terrible. The project in Rhode Island was 80% done. It was already funded. And to stop a project like that because you believe, in fossil fuels, you're messing with a lot of people up in Rhode Island, mainly labor unions. This job was, again, 80% done, and now you're going to pull the cord on it because you're all about fossil fuels. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. We can have various varieties of energy. It doesn't have to be the one that's putting the most money in your pocket.
I know. Yeah, it's disgraceful. I mean, this guy wants to go back to the 1950s.
He loved it then. Really good
Yeah.
times. I guess he loved it. I don't know. Couple of quotes from there. The labor secretary, Chavez Reamer, came out. Again, it's your turn to speak about Trump. And she said, this big, beautiful face is on a banner in front of the Department of Labor. You, the flag, and Roosevelt called him transformational president for the American workers.
Oh, he's created quite the transformation in the last 6 months. There's no doubt about that. That's the most accurate part of that statement. He has transformed us into a fucking dumpster fire of a country. Crash the economy. You've literally got armed guardsmen now patrolling the streets of DC.
You know what else they're doing? Not to interrupt you, they're picking up trash. But go ahead.
Oh, well, at least they're, doing something constructive.
For $550 per soldier, whereas you could be paying park maintenance at about $140. But go ahead.
Yeah, but never mind that. Who cares about that? Yeah, you've got these fucking ICE agents out there just acting as his little personal Gestapo, just rounding people up as they see fit. I mean, yeah, he's really transformed the country, all right. Quite the transformational figure.
Well, and he'll bring up topics to her about North Carolina, how they're going to fix up North Carolina and to a point, South Carolina. I guess we've forgotten about Missouri. We've forgotten about Kentucky. We've forgotten about fill in the blank, Arkansas. But now we're in North Carolina because the whole point is that we have a lot of craftsmen that make furniture. It's all about the furniture industry right now in North Carolina. Grandpa Bob used to go to High Point all the time. I get that. But his spin is that now we got to train the youth to start making furniture. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that, honestly. Yeah.
So
maybe he doesn't know that a lot of that furniture is just made in a factory. Those aren't necessarily craftsmen; they're workers.
Yeah.
I guess he really can't tell the difference. So I'd like to sell him a fucking IKEA table and tell him it's a handmade artesian hardwood oak table. But yeah, it's just
you'd never get payment for it, but you could give it to him.
That is true. Yeah, good luck getting paid.
So Bissett was next, talking about Trump restoring trust in government, and how he had an overwhelming mandate, and his economic numbers are off the charts. Amazing.
Sounds like someone wants a mandate with Trump. Maybe a little alone time, eh?
Well, he's not going to get it.
Can't wait to breathe in that deep, musky scent of rotten fecal.
I only have a couple more because they were just kind of grotesque. Brooke Rollins, she is the head of the Agriculture Secretary. She talked about Trump leading the third revolution. He saved college football, Christianity, and Christmas. She just has.
How did he do any of those things? What exactly is she talking about? I mean, I would like some of whatever she's on because.
Me too. Well, there's a different feel the end of the country right now. It just feels different.
Oh, it feels different, all right.
Yeah, in a really terrible way.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my take on it. A couple more here. Of course, Hegseth wasn't going to be outdone. Trump wants to rename the Department of Defense the Department of War. He said that's what it was named shortly after WW2.
No, it was the War Department during the Second World War.
He just doesn't know or care about
his dope.
So they asked him how he could do it because it requires an act of Congress. And his quote was, "We're just going to do it. I'm sure Congress will go along if we need that." But then Hegseth jumps in and says, "Those who long for peace must declare war. I mean, prepare for war." And then he went on to say how he took the woke out of the military and were, lean, mean fighting machine. It was just, again, pretty gross.
It's
calling
pathetic.
Him the peace president. You can't even make peace between your buddy Putin, who you highly respect, and Zelensky, who you barely tolerate, even though one country invaded the other. That doesn't really register.
Yeah, no, not at all. But you're still really hankering for that Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm going to finish on that one. You had Witkoff, who was the ambassador to Russia, who was in Alaska, which Trump says just right up there in that ocean around the Pacific up there. It's not that far.
Not that far.
So Witkoff told Trump that the Nobel Prize is the only thing that he wishes for Trump because he's the single finest candidate ever. And then the whole room started applauding. I mean,
do they wear knee pads to these meetings?
Oh my God, they should. And just in closing, Trump called himself the president of, he says people call him the president of Europe because he's that good. I don't know who these people are, but.
I don't know who these people are or if they just exist in Trump's rapidly diminishing brain, but oh my God.
That would seem to be the case. Moving on because it was just those were the highlights or lowlights, however you want to look at them. But Mark Alford is
pretty low.
a representative in Missouri. He's in west central Missouri. It's pretty red. This gentleman right here is a farmer, and he from Bolivar, Missouri, and he had some questions for Congressman Alford, a Republican. He felt that Trump was a bit of a dictator. He felt that he's a farmer, and he's telling him that he's going to lose his farm. And he asked if Alford would pull his butt or pull his head out of Trump's butt. Straight up called him a dictator, and he's had enough. So I'm with this guy. This is in a pretty red part of Missouri. Other people that chimed in asked about SNAP. This woman wasn't thrilled with the responses. I will say this for Alford. Unlike some of his other Republican leaders, he did respectfully listen to their questions. He did try and answer to the best of his ability, which is still a lot of gaslighting in its own right. SNAP is supposed to be, they asked about SNAP, and he says that, SNAP is for, was not supposed to be a lifestyle. It's supposed to be a life vest to help you through, not a lifestyle. Like, I mean, does everybody need 3 meals a day? Come on, it seems a little much.
Yeah, these kids are getting too porky anyway.
So he said it was supplemental. These were food stamps. Is there some fraud? There's fraud in everything. Give me a break. But you don't take it away from people that actually need it without doing your homework. Also, they talked about the rural hospitals with the Medicaid cuts. These people are in rural Missouri. They're losing their hospitals. He says these tax cuts are going to benefit the middle class. Nobody was having any of that.
People aren't as dumb as you think.
No. And these people, it's affecting their lifestyles now. Everybody that I showed you was white. They're not believing the nonsense that's being fed to them. And I think these constituents are going to come out and vote. We're going to talk briefly about the vote in a minute, but I just wanted to put up a statistic. In the private sector, Americans get 10 to 14 paid days of vacation a year, if you're lucky. Some maybe less. Congress right now is on pace for anywhere from 98 to 105 vacation days a year paid for by the private sector of Americans. That's like a third of your year. You're not even working.
Seriously, that's just crazy.
I mean, you can't even make those stats up. But as long as we're accepting of it, they're going to continue to take their vacation. And wouldn't you?
Sure.
I mean, it's crazy. We're being led by a bunch of dummies. You can see Hegseth over here is already kind of bored. Rubio, this is after Trump insulted him and said, hey, you're a great Secretary of State. You should probably just stay in that job while we elect another Republican for president. Totally discounting his run for presidents.
Yeah, it won't be you. Sorry, little Marco. You got played.
He got played, and he seemed to be okay with it, I guess. And
Pistol Pete's just looking for his next drink.
He's watching the clock, okay? It's got to be 5 o'clock someplace.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty terrible people. But again, this whole fluff fest is going on. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, RFK is going to ban COVID mRNA vaccines. Those are coming off the shelf. That's going to leave us with less effective, less safe non-mRNAs for us. Trump himself is going to pull COVID vaccines off the market within months. We're kind of rolling into COVID.
Why would you do that? I just don't understand. That makes no sense. Why? What possible reason is there for doing that?
I know. It's weird because he was given all the accolades of getting this vaccine, to citizens around the world. He was a big part of that. And now you're just crapping all over that.
Yeah, it just makes no sense from just from a medical point of view, from an empathetic point of view. It's like you just want fucking people to die from this again.
It's pretty bizarre. To that point, the state of Mississippi has declared a public health emergency due to the state's rising infant mortality rate. Again, not something you'd think you'd see in this country, but in the last 10 years, 3,500 babies in Mississippi have died before their first birthday. And I don't know if that's the care that they get in that first year or lack thereof, or if you're having complications, from birth or what. But I would think we could do better.
You would like to think so in the wealthiest country on the face of the planet, but yeah, I guess not. We're just not that interested.
Well, and I'm assuming these are going to be a lot of brown babies. So it's Mississippi and a lot of indifference.
Well, yeah, and babies being born to poor parents, people who don't have great insurance or don't have those resources,
Or
or
insurance at all.
maybe the moms are not in great health. So yeah, it's just again the cruelty is the point.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Um, you see some pushback. You had people from the CDC were pretty outraged when that guy shot up the building due to RFK Jr.'s misinformation. Now you
Hmm.
have 150 employees at FEMA send a letter to Congress, and the quote was that the direction of current leadership, leaders, the direction and current leaders' inexperience harms the agency's mission and could result in a disaster to the level of Katrina. We just passed. We just saw. Was that on the anniversary of Katrina?
Oh, the documentary.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was on the exact anniversary. Maybe.
right around. How quickly you forget if you're not from that area, but that was a disaster. Certainly something that could have been handled a lot better. You'll never forget the heck of a job, Brownie.
Hmm.
It was a terrible job, Brownie, but
Yeah,
we don't like to admit those sort of things. So we just say it was great.
it was great. Everything's great.
Super time. I just wanted to talk about the postal system real quick because we're getting. This is the head of FEMA too. I got to put up old David Richardson. Super intense. Didn't even know we had a hurricane season. I mean, look at that guy. Wise as the day is long.
Are those his look awake glasses? Is he asleep behind those things? Like paying attention glasses?
I'm listening glasses for sure.
Yeah. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
Where do they find
So
these losers?
we do have priority mail, even internationally. And I just wanted to touch on this real quick because it started last Friday. Countries around the world are suspending deliveries to the US because you have this tariff issue. And it used to be that anything under $800, they weren't going to put a tariff on. No, they felt like China and Hong Kong were putting things in smaller boxes so that they could escape the tariffs. And they've been ripping us off for years, as everybody knows.
Everybody.
Now it's affecting everybody. It's affecting military personnel that are using, the postal system to ship things back here. So it was tariffs were at $800. If it was less than that, you weren't going to have that. But countries started last Friday stopping it because they don't want to end up delivering anything past, I think it's the 29th of August, because that's when it's going to kick in. So in July, he said he'd remove the de minimis treatment, which is less than $800, Latin for it's so minor, don't worry about it. Well, now we're going to worry about it. So they've suspended all mail. Some China and Hong Kong, this started in May, but if you use Etsy, they've suspended the U.S. shipping as well. And of course, Trump's like, oh, they're shipping all this fentanyl and opioids into our country. But it's really about
that.
It's really about product. So you have 30 countries suspended their service. 22 European nations have suspended their mail service. That's the UK, France, Germany, Italy. And then we reach out to the Asian Pacific services also suspended, which would be Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore. I mean, all of a sudden, what? Where are you getting your stuff from? Everything is going to be local. We don't manufacture stuff here.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know you hate the postal system because you felt like mail-in ballots, took away your 2020 win that you had rigged, but didn't work out because of mail-in. You put DeJoy as the postmaster general. He did his best. We saw him destroying equipment at the post office. I mean, what's next? Can you pick something else that's not in our Constitution, that's not a service to the American public. Like, stop already.
Ugh. Dude, he's just a fucking disaster. He's basically affecting every aspect of American life.
Slowly but surely, right?
And not that slowly.
That's true too. I wanted to say I had this one. Cole's saying it doesn't work. It does. He's a problem here. Sorry. I wanted to say, just because his numbers were so crazy, Trump trying to rationalize. He said that grocery prices are way down.
Lie.
What he's doing. Gas prices used to be $4 or $5 a gallon, down to $2.25. Some places under $2. I filled up today, $2.99. So also not true. Obviously, he's talking about dropping healthcare down to numbers you've never seen before.
Yeah, like 0 people covered because nobody can afford it.
You're absolutely right. It's just like they're all just made up numbers, and the people sit around the table and they're okay with it. I thought he talked about something else: gas, groceries. Oh, energy costs way down. Your electric bill way down, and I'm just like, we've been talking about this for a month. I'm shocked at how expensive my stuff is.
And people figure it out. You can say whatever you want to, but when they get that sticker shock when they open their utility bill, or when they, get their groceries, they're not going to believe you.
Well, and I mean, there's just no hiding it. I mean, I
You can't hide it.
I had to write the check. I felt it. I'm still in shock. I still remember the number. Prices are not going down, but as he sits in this little office with all these minions around him telling him how amazing he is, there's no reality to this. And the rest of us, sadly, are living in this reality where they're basically shoveling more manure on us, and we're supposed to be okay with it.
Yeah. And eventually people get sick of that shit. Even the most, well, I don't know about the most diehard cult members, but you're going to lose a lot of these people that thought, they were voting for one thing. How the fuck they thought that, I don't even know. But eventually, you can't hide it. It's like that fucking bruise on his hand, or those swollen ankles, or that horrible scent emanating from him. You can't hide it forever.
Yeah. Well, some people are getting used to it and really like it. So
I don't know who. I don't know who likes paying more for less.
not me. And I'm so tired of hearing about it. That's really the hardest part to me, is having to just listen to the lie after lie after lie. It's just so much.
I don't even know why they bother covering these things. They should just send one pool reporter to sit there.
I think so too.
Because it's just a fucking waste of time. It's a stroke job.
It really is. Again, there's literally there's just nothing there that's of substance that helps us.
No, there's no. Again, these are not serious people.
Not when it comes to governing, that is for sure. I did want to just talk, because we had brought this up before, the Rockland County, New York, which is in the courts for the 2020 election. And I'm not here to create some crazy conspiracy, but I do feel like you have to have a fair vote. You have to have your vote counted. We had several people that we talked to that we knew that didn't have their vote counted, because you can do it by mail and it will tell you if it's counted or not. The ruling in Rockland, which is in New York, is moving forward. We've had a person from the CIA come out. He's willing to talk about this on the record under oath. The discrepancies, the unnaturalness to all of this. They probably won't bring them up because they really don't want to get into discovery on this. But just a little bit of background. The election system software, it's a ES&S company. It runs 70% of our voting machines in the US. And prior to the election, they had ECO 1188, which is just engineering change order. This goes back to Trump, where he talked about the minimus. It was not a big deal, so this didn't have to get any kind of, this was an update, but it kept it outside of any security checks. There was no oversight to this. They just did it. And what they were finding was that you had these drop-off votes. So if 100,000 people voted, only 20,000 voted for the presidency, 80,000 voted down ballot. So they voted for everything: Senate, House, local, slappy, didn't matter, but they didn't vote for president, which seems really crazy.
It's a bit fishy.
Some people just go and vote for president only, or they just vote, the full ticket of Democrats.
Yeah, that's pretty fishy.
It's a little fishy, and that's what happened in Rockland, where Gillibrand got 80-some% of the vote, and then Kamala didn't get a single vote. Like,
yeah, that is not right.
I think one of those people probably would have voted for the president, but they didn't. And just some examples: in Arizona, you had 267,000 people voted for the Senate, but 180,000 voted for the president. So the difference was about 80,000 that weren't counted, and Trump won by 40,000 votes. Georgia, again, 110,000 people voted, but with the drop-offs, Trump won by 30,000 votes. I mean, these were all close enough, but not enough for a runoff of any sort. Wisconsin, Nevada, Pennsylvania, all the same. And if you recall, Trump talked about losing Pennsylvania until Musk did his famous
Elon and those computers. He knows all those computers, and we'll never have to vote again, don't you? Yeah.
And I won in a landslide. So
what the fuck?
It's a little bit crazy. So the people that are pushing this, and it will go through the court system and it should be flushed out, they're worried about future elections, and I can certainly understand that. But my problem is, if you do find that these discrepancies and it was nefarious and somebody had a hand in this, then we should be able to go back and look and see how this happened, how it went down, etc. Eventually, and New York's going to start that, you're going to have a full forensic hand counting of ballots. And that's really what they want to see. Let's compare the tabulator. Let's compare the ballots that are in hand. And let's just make sure shit's legit.
Yeah.
So that is proceeding. I find that fairly interesting just because it seems so far-fetched. But, we're bombarded with so much misinformation that it's easy to be like, oh, you're a conspiracy nut. This isn't true. But those same people that are supposed to be, the fabric of this very country should really put politics aside and be all about getting the vote right. Let's have a sincere vote. Let's try and get the best candidates. We just don't do that anymore.
No. And listen, he knew he was going to lose. You saw him. He was fucking bombing, standing there at that one rally, just playing music and swaying. He knew it. He was covered in flop sweat. And Elon came in and saved the day.
Well, without being a jerk, it was a decisive win for Kamala and Tim Walz. It was something you couldn't even fake, but you could fix. And that's kind of what they did. I will say at this stupid meeting today that Gabby was there talking about burn bags again in the stolen 2020 election. So I'm not that off base looking back at the 2024 election when you have these guys still complaining about him winning the 2020 and you had all these burn bags that they were trying to get rid of. I mean, come on, man. Be better, Gabby.
She was raised in a cult. What the fuck does she know?
Well, and she got the job, which makes her happy, and she's still Putin's pet and doing the work for everybody but the American public. But
yeah, ridiculously unqualified.
Yeah, well, you'd almost call that a DEI hire. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
But you better not.
No, you can't say that.
So, that felt like a lot of information and lies coming out of the White House today. And I didn't even see KK Caroline. So maybe that was the plus to this. I didn't get to see the rest of the cabinet, which was pretty awful, including Pam Bondi. She no longer has a seat next to the president. She must have done something wrong.
Yeah.
So now she's across the table. But, it was enough for me. And when we talked prior to this, it's just so much that you have to sift through or don't, but at least be pointed in what your opinions are for, fairness and justice for all. It sounds silly, but we were also the home of the brave, and we seemed like a bunch of cowards. Unless you have a mask on and you're packing a ton of heat and you're pushing around people.
Kids and old women, yeah.
Yeah. Then you're just not that not that deserving of taking that moniker of being a brave American, because it's all cosplay again. They showed people, we go back to the wall, we painted the wall. They showed people climbing the wall. Not a big deal. And the way they spaced it out, you can really get a foot and a hand on and really get yourself up that wall pretty easily. They said the black paint really didn't have much of an effect. On the Mexican side, you have the beautiful mural. On our side, it's painted black. It will cost $500 million to paint that whole thing black.
Oh my God.
Like we have money to burn or something.
Yeah, it's just so disturbing when you think like how much good could have been done with that money? How many people could have, been fed, or, it's
Or
just
homeless housed, or yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe keep some of the Medicaid that you're trimming off for some reason. I don't know.
The grift and the cruelty are the main focuses here.
It's such a small percentage of people that are getting off on that, and it's affecting the rest of us. So I really feel like we have the numbers for people just to talk some common sense. I don't think that anybody's okay with this. I honestly don't.
If you're a rational, compassionate, thinking human being, regardless of, what party affiliation you choose or don't choose, yeah, how can you be okay with this? How can you justify this? There's just no fucking way.
I
People
agree.
being rounded up, armed troops in the streets of cities, and Trump wants to go after Chicago and New York next. I mean, and just the massive grift, the shit that they're doing with healthcare and the social safety net and education and on and on and on. I mean, fucking up every aspect of American life. And, most people just, they want to live their life. They want to, raise their family, be with their friends, do their thing.
Enjoy their community.
Yeah, this is just obscene. It's almost like living during wartime, I would imagine. Waiting for the next shoe to fall. What is going to spike my cortisol level next?
It's too much.
It's way too much. And I did see that I think Israel declared a national strike today in protest of Netanyahu in Gaza.
Nice. It's about time.
Shutting the country down. And, we could learn from that. Now, we're a much bigger country and a lot less unified, but still, and we'll see. We'll see what happens on Labor Day.
Yeah. They said exactly that. One of the best ways would just be to strike. Don't go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And see how much they like that and how much it affects their bottom line. They can survive for a long time, but then it becomes ego too. I mean, I got to keep my richness. I don't want to lose any of my money. So
yeah,
we're going to see.
Shut it down.
And it wouldn't take long. I think the realization would come pretty quick.
No way, man. Our supply lines are so short. Even if like the transportation workers, the truck drivers and the railroad crews decided to take, sit this day out, shit would grind to a stop
pretty quickly. Now they've already minimized that capacity by keeping Hispanic speaking drivers off the road.
Yeah.
Great idea, everyone, because somebody will step right into that job that really wants to work hard. I mean, it's just nuts, man.
It's fucking beyond nuts. It's just psychopathically twisted.
Yeah, it's a real problem for all of us. Maybe not the 1/10 of 1%, but the rest of us are going to have to get our bearings together and get out of this mess. I don't know. It's just piling on and piling on. And the more I hear the sycophants and the more I hear Trump say the D word and then talking about he's got every right to do whatever he wants to do. He could go into Chicago because he's the president. When you hear KK Caroline saying, hey, Trump shouldn't have to abide by the other two parts of government. I mean, you didn't even do the basic research on how this government is.
Yeah, you have no idea, no interest in learning how this actually is supposed to work.
3 equal parts. It's just not that hard.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court did not do their job in defending that either.
No,
look at you, John Roberts.
Yes.
Sell out.
He kind of is into it, though. I think that's part of the problem. That court is not going to save us. But if we can get enough of the lower courts to really keep the agenda on what's actually happening, then I think it forces the Supreme Court's hand a little bit to kind of at least listen. And then they'll rule however they want anyway. But
yeah, they'll do whatever the fuck they want to. But
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, that really crushed my day, having to listen to half that stuff, and then just just how it's very ineffective for the rest of us. And I've just about had enough. So I'm getting gas, and I see what the actual price is, and then he's telling me how cheap it is, especially in southern states. Also a lie. I went to the
Mm-hmm.
grocery store this morning. Um, I'm not buying meat, and it's still very expensive. I mean, we talked about this. Vegetables were up 40%. I mean, what the heck? Uh,
Yeah.
those same farmers that aren't able to feed me those cheaper vegetables are being subsidized. They're getting their money. They voted
Yeah.
for this guy. He's bankrupting them, but they're still getting paid if they're able to keep their farm open. Or if maybe they make a deal with um, JD's company and they sell their farm to them, but they still
For
get paid.
pennies on the dollar, and then they can work on their farm for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, very true.
Sounds great.
But in that case, I guess JD gets the supplemental money, the subsidies. But
Yeah,
it's
that
just
cow
not
fucking twat.
it's just not sustainable. And I think anywhere these people are going, they're hearing about it from the general public, and we just need more of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't be afraid at this point, because if you're afraid, you might as well just shut yourself in, because you're not going anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of it. And if you're okay with that, and this is what you want, and we've always talked that some people prefer a dictator and being told what to do, then that's great for you. But as a nation, I think it stinks, and I don't think most people are on board with that. So it's time,
Mm-hmm.
time to get it going. And what better time than Labor Day to get this cranked up?
Yeah.
So
That's right. Never been a better time than right now.
then, right now, well, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
giving it away, giving it away, giving it away. I may dish it out, but I'm not giving it away. I guess I need to jump to a quick happy ending. See it as you want, but um, your favorite tight end that you draft every year, Kelsey's getting married. Maybe you've heard. He's got a lady
Big
friend.
news, big doings, man.
Yeah, and Trump wished them both the best. He said what a good football player he is, and she's a nice person too. He must not have heard the question.
I guess not, because he's been busy trashing her.
Yeah, because she is a
So
decent
yeah.
person.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
2 years of dating, and now they're going to get married at some point. I'm sure that'll be kind of a big deal. Um, but good for them is all I'm saying.
Yeah, good on them.
What else? Any other good news? Cut day was today in the NFL. I didn't see too many people. I did see Pierre with the Steelers was cut.
Yeah, that guy doesn't do much.
Beanie Bishop was cut. Corey Trice did go to IR again. What was that, 3 seasons of IR for that guy?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That dude just cannot stay healthy, and
And
it's a
he's got
shame.
great talent.
Yeah,
Left knee, right knee. I don't know what it is this time.
hamstring.
Is that right? Right.
Mhm.
Beanie Bishop also was waived today. So Chuck Clark.
He
So
wasn't that good.
they
Beanie
must
Bishop.
have kept Castro, that safety from Iowa, then.
Oh, they got rid of Chuck Clark? Did they really? Huh.
Mhm.
I thought he'd make the team for sure. Yeah, I guess they kept the Castro, the kid from
Bryce
Iowa.
Herman. He seemed like kind of a ball hawk, but you get into when the games count, and these guys are all so good that you can be a ball hawk in college. You can get away with that. I mean, we saw that with Shador Sanders. I mean, you can drop back and run around in college all you want and heave the ball. Generally, maybe a better receiver is going to catch it, but it doesn't work at this level. Stand in the
No.
pocket, step up in the pocket, let your linemen do their thing, and that's why he's been so unsuccessful. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's just a whole different level from college.
For sure.
It's a big step. Not everybody can take it. And, so much of the game too is just a matter of you've got to learn how to be a pro. I mean, how many guys did you see that came in that had tons of talent, didn't know how to take care of themselves, didn't know how to manage their business, how to, make the most of their study time. I mean, it's a profession now. It's not a game, it's your job. And the guys that last are the guys that know how to take care of themselves. They spend the money to get the work done, with their training and their self-care, massage, dry needling, all of those things, nutrition, it's always on point. And that's how you last in that game, because it's a brutal game, man. These guys are all good. They're bigger and faster than ever. And if you're not on point from the neck up, first of all, if you don't know your assignment, if you can't think the game fast enough to play fast, you're going to have a problem. Nobody's getting
Yeah,
by on talent at that level.
for
And,
sure.
just got to know how to handle yourself, how to take care of your body, because that's how you last.
Well, it's nice to have some professionals in the room too that will mentor these guys. I mean, not all of them come from an amazing background. As we've always said, you were a stud in high school, you were a stud in college. Now you come into a room full of studs, and it's nice when you have guys that'll actually look out for you, help you out, maybe give you a little bit of guidance. Everybody's
Hmm.
fighting for a roster spot, so I'm not saying you enable them to take your job, but it is nice when you see the veterans taking care of the younger guys, and then generationally you see the same thing, and those guys become veterans, and they've learned a little something. It
Yeah.
all comes down to like how you treat people. We had the same thing in Atlanta, where some guys didn't get that memo, how to treat people.
Yeah.
If you're asking for something free, maybe don't ask for three.
Hmm.
Happy to have you come back up. You can have whatever you want. We're here to work for you, but you know
Maybe please and thank you would be kind of nice. Don't just demand it.
be decent. Okay, it's not too much to ask.
It's not.
So
Common courtesy.
does football start this week from tomorrow?
No, no, a week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah. No, wait. Well, tomorrow is the 28th, 27th, 28th.
Yeah, tomorrow's the 27th.
So yeah, the opening Sunday is a week from Sunday.
Yeah, but there's Thursday night football with
So
those.
yeah, I guess it is a week from tomorrow.
How about that?
A week from Thursday. Yeah, crazy.
It's crazy. It's going to be here before you know it. So you better enjoy the holiday weekend first.
Yeah. August really flew by.
Oh my God, I know. I mean, once we hit 4th of July, it seemed like it was over.
Yeah, but the good news is it's pumpkin spice season almost.
Yeah, you
Who
get
drinks
your
that
pumpkin
shit?
spice latte.
Pumpkin spice. Why?
I know.
Just, I don't get it.
I don't either. Not my thing, but
Yep.
well, the only happy ending I have is that football's cranking up, and the rosters are kind of set to see. Next up will be fantasy football draft. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, I want you thinking on what we're gonna do.
All right. I think we can figure it out. We have the number 2 pick, so I'm
A lot
excited.
of options with that pick. So.
It's true. All right, put all your brain power on it, Billy,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll try and just get past all that stuff today if we can.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to let it go. It's not going anywhere. It'll be there when you decide to tune back in. But
For sure.
sometimes you just need to take a little clarity, a little mental health break for yourself, and just can't focus on it all the time. It's
I
just
would agree.
way too much.
And why listen to liars? Just try and, like we say, find your sources, find people that aren't going to lie to you, and then deal with that practically if you can.
Yeah, don't give them the headspace. Don't
Agreed.
let them live rent free in there.
That's why I turned it off and shut it down. But I had to give some examples because it was just over the top insane.
My God, what a stroke fest!
I know.
Ridiculous.
It was bad. Can't
I
wait
mean-
to see what John Oliver or the Daily Show does with this because it's.
I mean, even Putin called and said, "Tone it down."
I know, right?
Too
So
much.
North Korea,
Yeah.
insane. All right, well, I'll be picking you up later. We got ice. That's another happy ending.
All right, there you go. That'll work.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Good job today. See ya.